made a comment and I said that kids that have parents with money are 10 times better than those in poverty. People went out their way to misunderstand, but I'm going to say this only once. When your parent doesn't have money, it puts them in a state of desperation, stress, and a scarcity mindset. Those three things right there is 10 times likely for that child to be abused. You have parents that are working 46-hour weeks and still have to take care of the home. You have women that have no village, and the only village they do have are families full of. If this isn't for you, keep scrolling, because I'm so tired of people in the comments saying not me. If it's not you, keep scrolling. At the end of the day, kids are abused over and over again because the mothers are too busy working. The mothers can't find a babysitter. My mom knew that I was being touched on by a female cousin, and she still repetitively took me to that home, where I was not only abused by the cousin, but physically abused by her mom. If my mom had money, I would have been protected more and out of a lot of environments that caused me trauma. So when I made that post and people are commenting, oh, money doesn't mean nothing. Well, if money doesn't,
I'm just confused on like how I want her to answer, like, how would you have been protected with money when that's your mother's decision? Like, okay, let me get this right. I think you can meet sick people anywhere. What about the people that got money, that's from the hood, most of their families in the hood that got money, they moved their family out the hood, and now they still have to work to maintain their money, and they need babysitters, or they need nannies, or they need their cousins to come by and watch their kids. What about those people? Because now they got money, they could bring them to somewhere else. They could bring them to a daycare center. What if it's a sick person in a daycare center? You see, I feel like as soon as she put the abuse part to it, that's when it made it a fine gray area, at least for me. Because you can meet sick people anywhere. I do not believe that just because you don't got money that you're gonna be around sick people. There is some of the most amazing people living in poverty right now that we just look over because they're in poverty. But then there's some sick people that's living in poverty right now that we pay attention to, because why? The world loves to watch hate. And what I want to say is, I feel like it's just a bit of a shallow thinking, because now this part is for my believers out there. Anybody that just wants to use their brain. I'm not saying Christians, Muslims, listen, anything that if you believe in a higher power, stick with me. If you pray for protection, if you pray for finances, if you pray for emotional intelligence, if you pray for a better situation, and we live down here, why wouldn't you think money is part of that blessing? Because just like she's making it, we need money to survive. Why wouldn't I think that God is going to send money as a part of that blessing? Is he going to send it like it grows on trees? No, because prayer without work is useless. So you have to think of it, speak of it, and then manifest it. It's just like if you're hungry. If you're hungry, you're going to think about the pizza, and then you're going to speak about it, and then take actions to go and get it. So I see what she's trying to say, but I do not necessarily agree with her, mainly because she's adding on that abuse part, and there's sick people all over the world.
mean nothing. Stop paying your bills right now. If money doesn't mean nothing, then how are you clothed, fed, and sheltered?
That's what I mean, shallow thinking.
That's your problem, is y'all keep having kids and you don't have the resources. You think that love is enough, and it's not. And I'm so over it. Like, I'm really about to get so passionate about this because I'm so over you broke mother having kids and then want to be under somebody comments talking about money isn't everything. Money doesn't make a kid happy. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Money makes things more comfortable. Does it make you happy? Can you find happiness in money? No. Money will make it more comfortable, Money will prolong the process, but what's planned for you is what's planned for you. You know what I'm saying? It does not alleviate everything that you're going through. We have to conquer our emotions first before we get to see anything that God has prepared for us. Even if we have money, it may just be the start of you losing that. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, put it in the comment section. But for me, I honestly think that she has some type of point that she's trying to get to, but it's too much in that gray area for me to just believe that money is gonna solve all problems down here on earth. I can't. I'm well. I got enough, and I have kids. A kid. Let me fix that. But I feel like I take care of a lot. So that's why I say kids like that. I take this person need this person need that. But anyway, I feel like even with the money, I have to use my discernment. I have to still be present. I still have to be there. I cannot just think that the money is going to protect my kids. I have to protect my kids. So if I was in your mother's situation and I knew that my child is being abused, going to this place over here, why on God's green earth would I continue to bring her over there? Him or her? And if I had money, why would I feel like just taking them out of that place and putting them somewhere else, okay, cool. But if there's sick people over there, that is something internally. That has nothing to do with the dollars I'm spending. And honestly, there's gonna be a lot of broke people in the comments, and I hate to be so blunt. There's gonna be a lot of y'all in the comments agreeing with what she's saying, but I encourage you, I challenge you to just think a little bit. Just think a little bit. Money is not going to make you happy. It's not. And anybody that gets the opportunity, that is blessed to get money, one of the first things that you realize is that none of that shit matters. How you obtained it was conquering your emotions. That's how you obtained the money. So it don't matter where you put me in the jungle, I'm gonna come out. What he say? You put me in the jungle, I come out with a chinchilla, and I'm gonna have them motherfuckers dancing. It's not about the money. You see value. See, and this is I know I'm ranting, but check this out. See, that's why I love KRS-One. Value is not based upon what you have. Value is based upon how functionable you are with nothing. And we can't operate on nothing. We can't live down here with no money. So that begins the scale. How low can you go and still be valuable? Because when you truly become in tune with yourself, you don't depend upon the world for anything. You may enter the world, but you're not dependent upon this physical realm for anything. And when I'm speaking to myself right now, I know I am. But when I think about that, there's not, if I was your mother, I would have never let you go to that place again as soon as I figured it out. Now, as soon as it's brought into your attention and you don't do nothing about it, you're wrong. But who doesn't know just doesn't know. You get what I'm saying?
You don't know how humiliating it is when the book fair comes around and you can't get shit. And every kid is at school. Look what I got it. You don't know how it is to have new school clothes when you go to school. And my mom did do that, thankfully, because she grew up where she didn't get the new school clothes. Or I have friends that they mom couldn't buy them fucking clothes. They had to wear their older siblings' clothes. There were people that couldn't even eat at home. They had to wait until they had school lunch, making sure they get to school early so they could eat breakfast. So don't say that money doesn't mean shit. Money does make them happy. Money makes a kid happy when they're able to go on field trips.
I feel like that is really just the perception of the parents. I'll buy my son something and he plays with the box. I'll buy my son something and he only wants to. See this PS freaking 5 right here? My son still plays the Xbox S. He doesn't want to play all of the newest things. He's like, well, listen, I'm already used to this, bro. Let me just go back to.
Y'all think that kids don't deserve experiences, and they do. They do. Don't say kids don't need it just because you're broke and you don't fucking got it. Kids need it, okay? So at the end of the day, motherfuckers could go back and forth with me all they want. But money makes the world go round.
And that's
in
a
this
fact.
white man's world, money makes the world go round.
That's a fact.
In patriarchy, money makes the world go round. So in your little fantasy world that I hope you never bring a kid into, live in that tough love and that struggle alone. Bye.
You know what this makes me think of? And shout out to my brother. His name is Tyreek. He was speaking to my son the other day, and my son was showing him because he lost his tooth, and he showed him one of the dollars that he had. He's like, yo, look at the money I got for my tooth out of this and that. And my son said, yeah, I don't have much, but I have this. And my friend said to him, he said, my brother actually, he said to him, he said, nah, man, you rich. Want to know why? Because all your money is up here. And I want y'all to think about that for a second. All of your money is up here. So just as I said before, the way we think about our food, speak about our food, and then we manifest it. The way we think about what we want, the smaller things in life, right? Speak about it and manifest it is the same exact way you can think about a goal. Speak about the goal and manifest that goal. So as long as you keep that mindset in knowing that, yes, we do need money to operate down here. Do not get that misconstrued at all. If you out here just broke and depending on somebody else, I agree with her 110% on that. However, our perception is different. Our perception is totally different because if I'm praying to my God for financial blessings, emotional blessings, anything that I need down here to survive on earth, I know that money is going to be a part of that blessing. However that looks for me, it really depends on me developing my discernment to know what money is good money and what money is not for me, because all money is not for you.
I had to pause my regular scheduled content to jump in on this conversation because it came across my feed that a lot of y'all are really upset because this one lady said that it is better to parent with money versus parenting without. As a person who feels like an expert on the topic, let me tell you something. I grew up deep in poverty, deep in Alabama in poverty, with a mother who was single with 4 children. I never went on field trips. I only got new clothes like maybe once a year. I didn't do a whole lot of things in my childhood. My mom didn't have time to pay attention to my grades. She didn't have time to pay attention to where I was sometimes. And she also didn't have time to take off work to see about my school. I also grew up living in hotels, living in family members' houses. I grew up not having cars sometimes. There was a lot of assault, abuse, all type of things going on in my childhood because my mama was out here thugging it, doing what she could to take care of me, along with being on government assistance and all of the things. And when it was my turn to become an adult, you know what I promised myself? The one thing I was not gonna do was to repeat that cycle with a child if I chose to have one. When the time came, when I was in my 30s, and I decided to have a child, I made the smart decision to do so with a partner who I knew was going to be there to help me out. And also, I helped myself out. I had a college degree. I was making $125,000 a year after taxes. So the first 9 months of my son's life, you know what I did? I bought us a house. The second year of my son's life, I decided to upgrade my car to a Mercedes SUV because I never wanted to have to worry about breaking down somewhere or something happening and not being able to do things that I needed to do because of my ride. You know where I'm at right now? I'm in a school pickup line picking up my kid from school because I have a remote job that allows me to drop what I'm doing and be where I need to be for my son at the drop of a dime. Am I rich? Absolutely not. But is my son rich? Hell yeah. He has everything he needs. He never has to worry about utilities getting cut off. He never has to worry about mama putting him in unsafe situations or none of those things. So this is what I will say. You will never catch me in my car crying on the internet about how hard motherhood is because I'm wise. I made choices. I made the choice to make sure I had a bag before I brought a child into the world. That's all that lady was saying. She never said that you had to have $600 million and win the Mega Millions to be.
All in all, if you have the option to take your kids out of the hood and raise them in a better place, then by all means do so. I did. I'm doing it right now. However, I'm not rich. I don't have a car. You know what I'm saying? I'm with my son all the time. Period. Right? But I do have enough money to where he doesn't have to want for anything. I can be there any single time. You see, the way I live my life is if my son does want to go to public school, I'm a volunteer at the school. I'm going to be there all the time. I instill God into my son. I let him know that the physical things is not always, is not at all the truth. The truth is the things that we can't see. And as long as we can conquer that part and then correlate it with our physical essence, I feel like that's the best way, the best way possible, because nothing in life is fair. Nothing in life's made sense. At least I know I'm speaking to myself. I don't got a Mercedes. I wish I did. But my son is rich, like she said. I'm chilling. And that's that. Make sure I don't know, man. Tell me if I'm wrong. Drop it in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Why? Because wabbity dabbity, it costs nothing to show love. I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace.